Yo, what's going on, good people? It is July 14th, 2021. This is the Wednesday Hump Day edition of the Bottom podcast. I got my co-host CarolinaDirt803. What's happening with you?
Ain't shit what's going on our scheduled Wednesday broadcast.
As you should. We got Woodworks by Joseph in the building.
What's happening, man? Appreciate y'all having me on again.
Always. It won't be the last time. You my patron of the week. Last week I gave it to Miss Tabitha Brown for the way she handled the Wendy Williams thing. That was a big deal. Watching you on Facebook, man, I know how you and your son get down. It's a beautiful relationship that you put on display, and I know you live it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people kind of faking with this, with what they portray on social media. So.
Right.
Knowing that how I know you, knowing that relationship, man, just salute to you for that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So we in here today. We gonna start with first call. You know how first call works. It's just 5 rapid fire questions, whichever one. And if you don't have one, you just don't have one.
I brought a little something to the party tonight.
Kim got bottle.
See, I think I'm
my namesake.
Mm-hmm. See, you think I'm a Hennessy drinker? See, I'm talking to your brother.
Oh,
yeah. You drink that urban liquor.
I do.
That urban liquor.
But sometimes if I'm buying, but anyhow, no plugs for them. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So first call. We're gonna start. Just general. We're gonna go peanut M&M's or plain.
Peanuts.
All right. Indica or sativa.
Hybrid.
The hybrid is dope. But
I think sativa.
Yeah, I want more sativa than indica though.
I mean, but it depends on if I'm trying to clean up, if I'm trying to relax too, though.
That's true too.
But go ahead.
Number 3, you want to be invisible for an hour or super strength for 15 minutes?
Invisible, I guess. That super strength ain't gonna do me no good.
You might save lives, brother. You might save lives.
You right.
All right. For the hood, Fanta or Faygo?
Fanta.
I fuck with Fanta too. Faygo is definitely a Midwest thing. Shout out to Faygo. I've quenched my thirst on a Faygo or two.
Yeah.
Final one. Martin versus In Living Color.
In Living Color.
I fuck with you on that. In Living Color it was too much going on.
Okay.
Too many powerhouse cast members.
Hey, Martin is Martin is what it is, but In Living Color, boy, that's a whole different thing now.
Fire Marshal Bill, Handyman. What's your favorite sketch from In Living Color?
Man, that's hard, bro. That's hard. I think the ones that always stick out to me though is Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson doing security or whatever backstage.
Oh,
messing with the stars. That was all because Tommy Davidson, how he it was always just that was one that stick out to me, man. That and I ain't the one that got it, so you ain't hear that from me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but that's
Carolina.
Go ahead.
What's your favorite In Living Color sketch? Or Martin?
Man, it probably like I love In Living Color, but it'd probably be, and we were just talking about the New Jack City scene on Martin.
Okay, that's a classic.
Yeah, it's pretty much that one. Yeah, I'd probably say that one. Just because the whole dog shit.
Right.
Like that whole dog scene is just classic.
For sure. I'm gonna say for In Living Color, the Homie the Clown sketches, just in the moment, the Homie the Clown sketches probably, bruh, that painted holes in socks, right. That's real. And then Martin, Hashitashi, the Hashitashi episode.
Rental spoons.
All right, cuz. You got 5 for him?
Yeah, I'll do 5. So You going Martin or Eddie Murphy?
Eddie.
And no, we gonna go a mixture between movies and like the whole aura. Sit back and watch.
Eddie.
Eddie gave more content, cuz.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eddie.
If you're talking stand up and movies, Eddie.
All right.
Mark got some classic stand ups though.
For the culture, Cube or Snoop?
Cube. For the culture.
For the culture. For the culture.
For the culture, Cube. For entertainment, Snoop.
I know. I mean, Cube had, but yeah, you're right. Snoop's still going.
Yeah.
Favorite black superhero.
It's hard not to say Black Panther, man, but I grew up on Roadblock, bro.
We talked about it on the past episode.
Mm-hmm.
Your best hip hop duo. Other than Outkast, of course. Other than
Outkast, I'm gonna have to say if it's a duo, I'm gonna have to say Phil Mob, maybe.
Phil Mob was brought up on Jayyywalkin brought up Phil Mob on the Mount Rushmore of Atlanta hip hop. And the last one, the all right King of New York other than Biggie.
King of New York?
Yeah, other than Biggie.
If it ain't Biggie, it's Jay.
All right, that's fine.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, okay.
Oh man. All right, so like I told you, cuz we kind of brought you here based on, it just gave me a thought on the differences in the way that kids are understood and reared and raised in 2020 versus how some of us was born late 70s, 80s, 90s. For the people that may not, like, there's some people in here that probably ain't linked to you necessarily. So give me a story about Lil Man, cuz just not even necessarily the one that I talked about, but kind of introduce us without introducing us.
Oh man. Junior, man, check it out. So I was just telling this story earlier today, man. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. But so he must have been maybe about around 2-ish, 3-ish. And for a moment I honestly thought, but it wasn't right. And I'm gonna tell you why.
What you mean?
Because listen, we would buy him all these toys. We would buy him all these different toys, and he would just want to play with a pencil, bro. He would walk around the house with a pencil and go, and I'm like, bro,
consistently,
bro,
always
consistently. If you took the pencil away, he didn't have a little pencil, he'd get upset. So it was like, all right, whatever. So one day I'm walking past the room, he watching Avengers, he's standing on the bed with a pencil, and Thor got the hammer and he's swinging it. And I said, oh, boy, I'm the one that wasn't bright. Boy, I'm the one that wasn't. Right. I didn't even pick up on that. But literally, like, that day, I just saw that, like, he was taking whatever he could. He had that creativity. His mind was creating. And so I knew, like, for me as a kid, like, I was always creative. I just didn't have the resources to create. So for me, when I saw that, like, I just, like, anything I saw him get interested into, like, oh, you like that? Here, have it. Like, are you into that? And it's just like whatever comes out of it, come out of it. If you don't decide that you don't want to be like an Avengers fan when you're 12, that's cool. But as long as you like had a good experience and learn from it or whatever, I'm cool with that. Like, so
get the opportunity.
Yeah, that's how I play it with him. But yeah, that's just him, man. He's super creative, man.
Carolina, introduce us to your daughter without actually introducing us.
Man.
To your youngest daughter, I should say.
She's so wild and everywhere. As a matter of fact, she was just in here and she just left out. She is a God's gift from early childhood complications and just being from birth, she was just in the bed for 3 months straight.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 months straight. So now her energy is through the roof. And when I say through the roof, everybody that has ever met her, whether it be a waitress, it be the mailman, anybody say, can I just bottle all that energy? But her mind is constantly running. Even at the age of 3, she had a little Minnie Mouse, little Power Wheel. It wasn't a full Power Wheel, but a little Minnie Mouse shit. She was just watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And she just threw it over and flipped it over and just started hammering. But I wasn't watching at first. I wasn't even paying attention. And I'm looking at her almost just like you, like, what the hell going on? And she said, I'm fixing it.
That's what it
You're
is.
damn right. Because I damn sure would have called a mechanic.
Right. Hey, straight up.
I damn sure would have called a mechanic. But if at an early age, if you already got that in your mindset, like a lot of kids want to do shit by themselves. But as you say with Junior, he was looking at Thor in a different aspect with the pencil. He saw his pencil as his hammer. Like she was watching and she just visually said, I'm gonna fix it. And she flipped it over and started hammering.
Right.
Okay.
That's what it is. So I'm going back to Joff in terms of your upbringing. How were your creative, like you didn't necessarily have the resources, but for your parental guidance, how were your creative ventures handled? Like, were they supported? Were they ignored? Were you left to your own devices type thing?
They ain't understand. And it's no fault to them, but they ain't understand. Like they didn't, the way they came up and the way they was taught didn't really allow for somebody like me to really grow how I needed to. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't see the creativity in me. Like I can remember as a kid, like going out in the yard and start my own little garden next door in a little field, or like taking a bottle and creating an ant farm on my own. You know what I'm saying? Putting ants in. Now, I say this, my mom did buy me an ant farm because she got tired of them bottles all through her house. But like
were you able to scare the ants?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the ants were scared. 3-liter soda bottle with the holes in it. Man, I would throw bugs in there, had the tree, the little limbs and the leaves in there. Like it was real live little ant farm in the bottle. Like, but
I never understood the ant farm shit. I just never understood.
But it's the coolest, brother. It's the coolest thing to watch them work, man.
Big. Yeah.
Because they go to it, but they don't stop, bro. Like you can wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and look over and they still digging and working, bro. And it's in its own way, I guess it's inspirational. But back to the point, like they didn't get it, man. And so I ended up kind of finding certain stuff, and then like once I got to a certain age, I became like angry and frustrated because it was I just went the other ways. Yeah, it was misunderstood. So it was like, but in its own way, it was cool too because it led me to rap. It led me to meet y'all boys. It led me to a lot of different things on that path, and to alter and make sure that the way I raise my son, I get it more. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I try to make sure that I give him the patience and the understanding so he can like thrive differently than I did. But I see so much of a young me in him, and I feel like I understand him like on a we on the same wavelength type thing. So I really just pour into him and give him the energy that I wish I would have had. And so far, like I don't have no problems with it.
But there's a balance that is hard to find as a parent. The balance is what I force my kid to choose and what I allow my kid to choose.
Right.
It's like a fine line. Like you want to push them to do this and do that, but if you push them too hard, they ain't gonna want to do it. So it's like you gotta and sometimes you gotta think about yourself as a child and saying, damn, I want to do this, but my parents wouldn't let me. So sometimes you be like, man, I'm gonna let my child do that, but you as a parent, you can't allow them to do certain shit.
Right.
So and that goes along with competing. Like I don't understand why people compete. Other parents compete with other parents about how they raise and how they gift their children. Like I think that's a big problem. That's a big problem. Like if you're not going to compete as a grown person, but you're going to make your kids compete when they go to school about who got the best clothes on. Like that makes no sense.
Junior don't even care nothing about no clothes. I mean, he put on whatever we buy him. He like it. He might pick out a shirt every now and then, but man, Junior want to know about them Legos.
And that's what it is, and that's the practical application of the mind, and us understanding that you can get to a certain place of success. We, the first generation, now more than ever, to understand education is subjective, and where it comes from is subjective. You feed the beast within the beast. You feel me?
Right.
So him enjoying Legos, how is that not preparing him for architecture or drafting blueprints or any other fundamentally good job that your parents might want you to have?
But so that's what I see when he picked the Legos up. And I don't know that he gonna want to be an engineer down the road, but if he decide in his 30s and 40s that he want to go build like I decided, then albeit, but like I saw this man take Legos from a bunch of different random Legos and make an Optimus Prime. And you could tell it was Optimus Prime. It wasn't exact like how it came out of the store, but it looked just like Optimus Prime. But what messed me up is that it transformed into the 18-wheeler 2, into the rig.
Ooh.
I think people don't like Legos no more because they think it's simple, but when you're constructing something, that's what Legos are for. Like, people look at Legos like, man, my kids got Legos all over the floor, but you don't pay attention. Like, you saw the vision that he saw.
Yeah.
So the Legos actually represent something like complex, but a lot of people don't look at that shit. They look at it as simple as this little block with either 4 bumps or 6 bumps.
Right. Listen.
Let me tell y'all something. Legos was not my motherfucking jam, cuz I had homeboys growing up, and them dudes could build whatever the fuck was. Bro, I'd never really successfully built what was on the box ever in my motherfucking life.
I have only because of Junior. Like, I've sat down and built some like 1,000-piece Lego joints, and it took a day or two.
Right.
But like what he was saying, like, it really, like, as much as they think it's easy, like, it's really a whole like Junior ain't the best Lego builder, but he would sit down with adults and make them look like kids with Lego.
Right.
And it's like he understand, he see the algorithm in him. He know what pieces he need, and I'm talking about like on a regular basis. Like, Dad, look at this. Look what I made. I be on FaceTime with, look what I made, Dad. Okay, all right, that's dope. But it really is like it's about, man, just feeding into them, man, and it's a seed. We call them a seed, bro. So if we calling them a seed, then we got to treat it just like a seed and pour onto them and give them the nutrients and the sun and all the good things. We know if you pour soda or bleach on the seed, what it's going to get. So, you pour the right stuff on it. Like, Ellie was saying something earlier, I want to say it. Like, I did differently than what my mom and them kind of did. And the same in certain aspects. Like, my mom and them let me listen to way more music that I probably shouldn't have heard as a kid.
Well, that was back in the day also. I mean, because some kids who grew up without, like, I got partners who grew up without that. They had to fight and sneak to listen to. I ain't had to do none of that. Like, I don't remember us doing that. I'm talking about you got to think like we growing up. Think about it. The very beginning of Men's Society, Harlem Nights. Like, that was us. We were living that West Coast. Like you said, we didn't know what was in the air. But after you got older, we realized, man, it's in the air. We saw the liquor on the table. Like, we heard the music. Like, the music wasn't as apparent, but, Rick James and all them back then.
Right.
At that time, that music was out there. So I'm just going to say, like my dad was a movie fiend. So it didn't matter if it was rated R or whatever. He had all them shits dubbed on VHS, 3 to a VHS.
I did.
And we could just pull them out. He had them ripped down the book and everything. So it wasn't like everything was locked up for us.
Right. It wasn't locked up or anything, but you also, in our household, you also knew.
Yeah, you knew the rules.
That you shouldn't be, like, it's some shit that'll get the motion picture shut down.
Yeah.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like if you in the house by yourself, which we was a lot, then you can kind of do what you want to. But it wasn't without the firm foundation of this is grown-up shit versus kid shit.
Right.
And I think our generation is the first generation that's really like trying to blend that line. I feel like that's one of the things that, you know, has evolved that probably shouldn't have. We need to keep our children for as long as we possibly can, because the internet is Niagara Falls. That shit just gonna keep coming. As long as they clicking, it's gonna keep coming.
So on a regular day when I get in the car, my playlist all over. Like whatever. When Junior get in the car, I got a particular playlist for him.
Yep.
And it's songs that he picked out, like from movies that he like. Some of them old school songs, like it's a Mitchell versus the World or something like that about some aliens. And they played the T.I. Rihanna Live Your Life, but they only played the hook. And he started asking about the song. So we add the clean verse to your playlist. You know what I'm saying? Like, and stuff like that. So for him to jam, but there's a lot of like show tune type stuff, rock and roll type stuff, like a variety. But like Junior really like rock music more than anything. Like if I turn on some old Guns N' Roses or something to get a jam, and Junior over there air guitar with me.
No, I'll tell you, like one day, I mean, cause like one day, I didn't know where the shit came from, but my little baby, she was singing "Ready or Not" by the Fugees.
Okay, that's just good. That's just good upbringing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, but it's so my bad. So with Junior now, like even with the movies, it's a balance. I talk to him. I don't just tell him no. Like anytime I have to tell him no, I explain to him in detail why it's a no and when it can be a yes. You know what I'm saying? Or if it ever be a yes. And he got a good understanding of that. Sometimes he'd be like, but Dad, but most times he'd be like, okay. And he just take it. So it's at the point now with movies. He'll check a movie before I say something like, oh Dad, that's rated R, we can't watch that one. Like he know, like that's like he'll stop himself. Or if he sees rated R, he'll be like, well, Dad, can we watch that one? Because he's seen like Mortal Kombat was rated R, but it wasn't that bad, and we watched it. So he had asked me before he watched it. But even if I cuss, he'd be like, language, like that's one of the little lines from Avengers. But he'll hit me with it, language, because like it ain't. I don't do the cussing around. Like it really is as clean as an atmosphere as possible for him, so that he can get the best out of it. And I promise you, when you're around him, bro.
Right. And I think that's probably the one of the bigger differences is dialect. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say people curse real bad because they don't know other words. I curse real bad because I'm a cursor. I'm with the filth, flaunt, filth. You know what I'm saying? But I also was made to read, and like early on, it was a punishment until I understood and started enjoying, you know, reading books. Go to your room and read a book. Like I might stomp off to the room, but 3 pages later, I'm up there, you know, kicking my feet in the air. Like, yeah, this is all right. You know what I'm saying? I
read a whole book since Book It with a pizza from Pizza Hut.
Hey, real talk though, Chops. I'm gonna tell you this. That's one thing about you that always stood out to me. Like I don't mind reading at all, right? But I can remember being at work and you walking around with a good book in your hand, and I can't remember the name of the author, but I can almost remember the front of the cover. It had like the trees and snow or something, but it's by one of your favorite authors because you talked about him like he was one of your favorite authors. But it was like maybe like a war type, something type. I forget what kind of book it was.
You thought he was lame at first. Man, look at this lame man.
No, that was you. Lame, but listen, man. That was you. But listen,
book. I ain't never been lame. Here comes the jokes.
But real talk though, that was something that, for me that always stood out. And if I could think of the artist, because the author, but like I can think of times in my life after I'd have known you and think about reading as something, and you crossed my mind as a reader, just because how you was a real live reader. So yeah,
I ain't get that. My mom was a reader, but I ain't get that.
You still don't know. You don't know how yet,
bruh. Ever since Book It, but that pizza, that little personal pizza, boy, that the only thing that made me finish the book.
I'm about to say, boy, he was reading for food.
Yeah, 8 pages. 8 pages for some food.
What you wild do?
So again, technology is kind of making this easier in terms of not raising a kid. Raising a kid is always going to be raising a kid. That's just going to be hard. You got to worry. It's things that's going to happen that's out of your control, that's going to tear you up. All that shit. Like, that's what makes it difficult. But in terms of entertaining, educating your kids, and just what we now have in terms of psychological information on the way we can hurt, harm, or lift our kids up by the things that we do, say, in the environment that we in. You feel me? I had a conversation with like, I hang out with my pops and his friends in that demographic too. So that's the beautiful thing about, how me and Carolina can be super well-rounded. You know what I'm saying? They treated us as children for the time that we were children. But when we became adults and the world looked at us like adults, they stopped treating us like kids. You feel me? In terms of the way they talk or access that we would have with one another. But I said all that to say, like, I had a conversation with one of my pops homeboys, and he was talking about his grandson. He was like, man, these little motherfuckers ain't doing shit. You feel me? Like, they super lazy and shit. So I'm like, in my mind, I kind of figured it out. Like, we come from different places. Like, we live on the same planet, but we come from different places.
Right.
If you was born in late 40s, early 50s, what are the chances that you grew up with a bed, like an off the ground bed? You feel me? So you grew up like that. And you grew up where you had to go out to the field and pick whatever vegetable or whatever fucking cotton, whatever you had to pick at 8 years old, like a real grown-ass man, 40-hour plus job at 8 years old. So you want to be better than your kids are. You feel me?
Right.
So you work hard. You continue to work hard, and you go get it out the mud like you get it. And you get your kid a bed. By the time your kid come along, he got a bunk bed. He got AC. You ain't walking no more. Like, those childhoods are not the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, the values change too. The values have changed.
And your values change. God damn it. Yeah, I'm going through it over here, cuz.
Your values have definitely changed. Like, the value of the simple shit of kids don't ride bikes and packs no more. I know they do it in New York and stuff like that more, but it's more for, we did it for the innocence of being outside.
We ain't had shit else to do. That's what was entertainment.
It was the innocence, and I think that's what's taken away from the kids. The child abuse hotline, that was a major factor, but it also got abused. Yeah. Like, the innocence of a kid of not knowing.
Well, my mom want to kick my ass.
Exactly. Like, and I've talked and we've talked about this. Like, my mom and dad are extra compared. They was on 10 back then, not 10 abusive, but on 10 as in respect,
discipline,
honor, discipline. Now with my grandbaby, like, I ain't never got to ask the same question twice. Like, what do you want me to do? By the time I say it again, something come flying. With her, they got patience. And my mom said that's one thing you'll learn as you get older. You just gotta have patience.
Well, again,
but they want to rush these kids to be old now.
I think, again, that's your environment. So it goes to the generational thing. Like, them dudes our parents didn't have the type of entertainment that we had. Color TVs, like I said, AC, computers, video games, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So as we get older, who the fuck want to work in the factory? You know what I'm saying? who want to work with their back all day long. You did that so your kids wouldn't have to do that. And
so hopefully you ain't got to go through that.
Yeah, that translation is now these kids are lazy, but you the one to blame. And it's not really blame. You just did well enough for yourself not to put your kids through any of the shit that you had to go through.
So
you feel me?
Somebody was saying something, and they was kind of saying like the kids that are being born now, like Junior and the people in that demographic, they're saying that their kids have a chance to be the ones that just be like, "Grr." And the reason being is because almost like the cycle, like our parents put us in a certain position because of where they were. You know what I'm saying? And then so we kind of came up in the crack era. You know what I'm saying? So we went through things in that manner. And our mindset was built on, man, boy, we gotta get up out the projects, we gotta get up out the hood, we gotta. And if you're looking, like now, our age group that's in a position to do it, a lot of us are entrepreneurs and out of them situations by whatever means it was necessary.
Breaking the generational curse.
Breaking that curse. But a lot of those that came up until this point and kind of before with the kids, a lot of the mindset was my kids ain't gonna have to go through what I went through. So they made them skip over the mud. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's understandable. You don't want them to come up out the mud, but every now and then you should walk them through the mud. And I think by skipping them over that mud, it made the entitled kind of kids. And I think that's what the person who was saying it, I think that's what they was trying to say is like, in its own way, it makes an entitled generation to come with the mindset that they're being taught, unless you kind of give them a balance of, look, I'm giving you a better life, but understand this is something you got to work for, and this is where it comes. Like, you got to give them that balance of it and not just the better life, because they'll never respect it.
Yeah, I think the generational wealth also, is it the fact that you're giving these kids wealth, or are you practicing for them to maintain it? Like, that's two totally different things. Like, right. I can give my daughter, I can have a fun setup, and when she's 45, let's just say, because I ain't got it, let's just say she got 6 digits sitting in the bank. Let's say she got 6 digits. But if I didn't show her how to maintain that, when she get them 6 digits and I'm 80-something years old, I can't protect her no more. It's gone. So you have to practice that generational wealth. And whether it be just like you doing carpentry and all that, you teaching Junior, that's generational wealth. He plays with Legos. You do carpentry.
Building is building.
Building is building. That's like a generational wealth. Like, so when you don't buy him something, and when you do buy him something, he knows how to reward himself.
Yes.
So when you leave something to him, it could be a company only worth $5,000, but it will be his.
Right.
So people aren't teaching their kids. Everybody's screaming generational wealth right now. But are you actually giving the proper channels for your child to take that and maintain it?
No, like, you're giving it to us. I want to give us some credit though on that. Just the fact that this is not a conversation we ever had with our parents. No. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we can have a conversation now about stocks and bonds. Right. And let's be real, investing is still basic math. That ain't even algebra yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is worth this much. You can buy it for this much. You can potentially sell it for this much. So maybe it's a little bit of algebra in there. But what I'm saying is we having the conversations earlier. You know what I'm saying?
We are.
Right.
We are.
So just by having the conversations and giving kids that exposure, maybe they don't understand at 8. Maybe they don't understand at 12. But they's going to start understanding at 15,
right.
16.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So, again, it's not necessarily that it has to be taught. It needs to be talked about. And we can all do our part to do that. Right. It's a podcast on YouTube right now called Earn Your Leisure. They some regular dudes. They no different than the three of us or the three of us on this panel. They just decided that they would educate. They got a nonprofit. They go to schools and they literally have the conversation about the New York Stock Exchange and what it is and how to identify what you want to invest in and how to research that. So again, this generation is doing a lot better to set ourselves up.
Right.
I really believe you see on Facebook, you see on social media, you're going to be a millionaire by the time you're 60. Just claim it. You got to do more than claim it.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes. Yes.
But again, having the conversation is better than where we've been.
Right.
You feel me?
Once upon
even getting the money, even get the money and blowing it in its own way. I know it might sound crazy, but own way, even still, that's still good to a degree.
Yeah.
It's not
a lot of that.
It's not a necessarily what you wanted to do, but it works. And so look, and not to say that you blew it, right? But I can say this time you might even get money, and you might have been hiring somebody that really wasn't a professional DJ, but was okay with DJing to DJ for you, and you was paying them. You see what I'm saying? And if that happened, then you see what I'm saying? Like sometimes blowing it ain't necessarily a bad thing because that person took that money and bought some other equipment and did some video stuff and did all the other kind of stuff. And voila. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to you. I take a shot for that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes blowing it ain't a bad thing, but the important thing is the generational wealth, but it's more than just your family and your generation. It has to be a network of generations to make that wealth really go. Because I can be a carpenter, but if I got to go to this Caucasian guy, this Asian guy, whoever, no disrespect to anybody, but if I got to go to them to buy my lumber, you see what I'm saying? But if it's a man over here who buying land and he got a sawmill and he learned how to really get that wood, and I can go to him and I can take this stuff that I'm building and go here, it makes it.
But
it
you know
helps.
what? It's a lot of tangible businesses, and I'm gonna tell you, the one that really kind of not necessarily surprised me, but it allowed me to understand that we can buy our financial freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's a black-owned bread company, cuz.
Yes.
Sliced bread, white bread. You know what I'm saying? It's a black-owned bread company. There are now black-owned, well, there always been black-owned banks, but there is an onus to working with black-owned banks now.
Yes.
You feel me? So
they got a black crypto. They got a black coin it's a black crypto called Black Coin.
We are in a space now where we can make decisions that give us that financial freedom, and we can be our own boss. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody told you nothing about starting your own business when we was in school in the 90s and the early 2000s. You feel me? Nobody was like, yeah, man, you should start your own business. You know what I'm saying? You had a lemonade stand as a kid, maybe you did, but nobody made that really what you should do. You feel me? Like I said, the biggest difference is, let me ask you this, and this go to both of y'all. You can go first, Carolina. What is the one thing that you got from your parents that you're gonna make sure that your daughter do get?
Accountability. Show up for work. Show up for work. Regardless if it's yours or not, you take your ass to work. I don't care what it is. You take your ass to work, and you don't leave that job till you got something else. Now, if there's other circumstances like you get fired, that's different. But step one of not getting fired is showing up for work. You have to show. You have to show up for work.
Did they tell you to work when you got there? Because the time I worked with you, I don't remember you doing that part. You were there all the time.
Right. I was. Anybody know?
Listen.
Anybody know I work.
Well, listen. I was on that shift one day.
I'm probably the biggest out of shape person and still running circles around people.
I was on that shift one day. I ain't been there too long. I was over there getting my ass whooped. They had me like 8-9 lanes. You know, your brother came and stood in the lane and just laughed and talked shit, bro. Not in their box, not in there. Nothing he pick up, bro. He can
be a jerk sometimes. He saw your pain.
Oh, it's all right. It made me stronger.
Hey, man, I did that. Me and Antonio. That's how we got cool. His first day was in D-Val. I said, hey, man, let me show you something. I showed him that cart line. He was like, hey, bro, you ain't come back and look for me for about 4-5 hours. You wasn't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Where you gonna go?
I knew you'd be there when I got back.
Hey, he'll tell you. Everybody knows. Everybody.
Oh, you thought you was gonna get done,
bro?
Nah.
And you know, HR wouldn't let me be a certified trainer, and I trained so many people. But
Right.
that's what I was taught, like accountability. Just show up for work. So that's how I feel. I think that's my thing I passed down is just show up for work.
Woodworks.
Man, I'm going through my head, man. I got a couple of them, man.
I had a couple too, though.
Yeah, your parents got to teach you more than one thing. I figure y'all got real good parents. I know they taught y'all some dope gems. For me, I think my pops, like I guess he might have said it, man, but it was just what he showed me, man. Like, you don't gotta be out here working for nobody. Well, if you got good sense and you got good grind and you got a skill, a trade, boy, you can go out here and get it, boy. Like, and that's really that's it. Like, he showed me that, like he definitely told me I can't work for nobody. It's not meant for me to work for another man. Like, it's just not in me. And it might be some of his pride, but he ain't with it. If he really down, he'll come work with me or he'll do a job for you. But talking about not punching into a clock, Pops know he can get more money. But like on my mama, she showed me never give up, bro. But listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, boy. Listen, my mom been a parent since she was 14 back then. I'm talking about my grandmama put her out at 14, bro. And I'm talking about my mama lived good now. I ain't like to you. She worked, she hustled, and I didn't see my mama go through the most. And one thing she ain't never did was give up. Like I'm talking about, she done took some hellified blows, but she never gave up. So you talking about never giving up and always doing your own damn thing, then she never stopped doing your own damn thing. That's what I got from her.
That's all right. I'm gonna take a drink on that because I ain't gonna get drunk with y'all, but I'm gonna take a drink on that.
I'll take another little sip. I'm taking baby sips, so I ain't nowhere near drunk.
Ain't nobody asking you to do nothing with that bottle. That's your choice.
I know that's right. What you drinking on over there, bro?
Shit, I got a little bit there. 114 proof. Yeah, 114 proof.
I can't read what you got, Chops.
Yeah, there's a little rice wine, little Jinro soju
stuff he drink when he read his book.
I can do it.
Hey man, look. I mean, you can act like it's a bad thing all you want, man.
No, I just said it ain't me.
People appreciate my vernacular. You feel me?
That's
you know what I'm saying? When I'm responding socially with the people, you know what I'm saying? They understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
I do that too. I like the audio
with the inflections. You know what I'm saying? All that.
I just like the audio version. So what y'all think? What y'all think about this? So they just started. Kids can get endorsement deals in high school.
Get what?
Endorsement deals. A little high schooler, he just signed for like $2 million endorsement. How do you feel that's going to affect the basic education system?
Corruption.
Agreed.
I don't think that's. You've already had kids in baseball. But you get drafted in high school in baseball.
I like the endorsement idea, but you just can't have without corruption.
You can't have without
not millions.
I also think they need to do. It should be written the AI rule. Like they could do it, but they shouldn't get a check for like 25. Yeah, 25. Nah. Let's say 25.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be no weekly check for no high school kid.
But that's the corruption part too, though.
So I could see like a down the road in a bond, or however that might work, and maybe give them like a small amount monthly. Like
a little stipend, little per diem,
a little stack, a little 1,500, something simple a month on a little card, and that's their little money. That way they can move around if that's all their endorsement deal, because they still working. You know what I'm saying? And then the rest of that money can gain value. But
you gotta look at the level. So this is superstar shit. Let's not get it twisted. Every kid ain't a superstar that's gonna get a Nike deal.
Right.
Some of them deals gonna be Frank's Car Wash.
Yeah, I'll take Shaq.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll take the Shaq shoes deal.
I mean, I'm just like,
20 bands,
just
20
like
bands.
get the whole picture
Right.
of it. Like everybody is not gonna be Jadeveon Clowney, 15,
Gotcha.
16 years old. You feel me? So the endorsements are gonna match what you put out.
Put out.
Now, of
Okay.
course, it's gonna be them LeBron, KG, Kobe. It's gonna be a couple of them that come
Right.
out. You be like, I'm gonna give them this money, but that money is gonna be managed by you 16. I'm not gonna give you 50 million
Right.
because you 16 and
Right.
you might get a wild hair up your ass or break your leg.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Or just do some kid shit
right.
that won't allow me to give you this ridiculous money.
Right.
But I wonder if it foregoes their college, because that goes against the NCAA.
Well, NCAA is supposed to be passing that rule now.
Right.
I haven't heard it. That's why I said that.
So to me,
No,
that like it's oh, I mean, paying at that point is always going to be tricky, even though it shouldn't be, and it's really tricky because they made it like a bad thing early, so they can get as much off the top as they can, in my opinion. But like I'm for it if it can be balanced and regulated right. But that's just like getting somebody to regulate money is difficult.
yeah, you shouldn't have been able to tell me shit about my kid anyway, though. You know what I'm saying? To like, we live in a capitalist society. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have hashed this out a long time ago. If I'm the parent of said child and such business comes to me with a proposition for my child, it should be me that gets to make that decision, and the school should have never had anything to do with it.
Well, you can do that. You can do that, but like if you do it, then and they know then
right
because the reality is every last one of them do it. It's
Period.
just they all do it. All them big time kids. Maybe not every last one of them, but if they're a big name, they get in some kind of way, shape, or form. They getting it. But somebody go there. Hold on.
Okay, no. So we're gonna get up out of here in just a couple seconds. I got one more question. I'm gonna go to you, Will Works. I'm gonna go the same question for Carolina Dirt.
All
and it might be a little difficult, but we're gonna try to do it quick. Yourself as a father now, what would you go back and tell your 16-year-old self?
Ooh, 16. Oh, okay.
We'll say 14. You go to ninth grade at 14 generally. We'll say 14.
16 was working, but either way, okay, 14 about the same. Okay. So 14 was about to, okay, cool. So look. So boy, before you go fuck up, boy, listen. Listen. I know you think that shit cool, bro. I know you think, boy, you gotta be with that. And you gotta be that. Boy, listen, that shit ain't gonna do nothing for you, boy. Go get in them damn books, boy. You so motherfucking smart, you about to waste that shit, boy. Go get in the motherfucking books, take your ass on college, and meet some motherfucker with some dope ideas and some bigger, brighter ideas. I'm telling you, boy, ain't shit around this motherfucker, boy. Love your family from a distance, boy. Go get some motherfucking money and come back and put them in motherfucking position because you bullshitting. You fucking up now. I'm telling you.
That's good information. I'm going to change the question for you, Carolina. I'm going to change the question for you, Carolina. What advice would you give to a brother in the fringe? He barely getting by. He got a baby on the way. His life is fucked up in his eyes. What do you tell him? What information do you try to give him?
Positivity, man. If you don't think stuff is positive, it'll never be positive. Because if you're negative, like I said, that cloud's always gonna stay on you. So what I do is I've been on this last couple of years on this quest of just positivity. Because I've been down. I've been knocked down. I've been about to get up and been knocked down. Like I've been back to the mat, looking at the corner, throwing the towel. And then I just started thinking positive. I started treating shit positive instead of like, this shit gonna happen again. This shit gonna happen again. This shit gonna happen again. Like I said, when when my daughter's in the hospital for those 3 months, shit, like that broke you down to your soul. Like I can't get no lower than that. I'm dealing with this. The bill man don't care. The job don't care. Like nobody cares. My parents was like, well, appreciate that. You know, my parents like, you got to do what you got to do. So it's just like, can't nobody get you up off that mat, technically. Can't nobody get you up off that mat. They can send a gurney in there, but you still got to get up. You got to move something. So, you know, you just move and move and move. You put one foot step in front of the other, but you try to be as positive as possible. Like, not no happy-go-lucky, it's annoying positive.
That's a beautiful way to sew this thing up. So
before you sew, can I just say one thing?
What's up?
Look, you mentioned your daughter earlier, and it crossed my mind. I ain't say nothing because I ain't want to take it there, right? But then when you just said that there, I felt that I could say this. When you was going through that, I remember one time just trying to come and just check on you. And when I asked you, I thought to myself, boy, you're a jackass, boy, that's bad timing. Your response, it wasn't like, fuck you, nigga, got my face, but it was like, bro, it was like, bro, boy, if you make me think about something I don't want to think about right now, I ought to choke slam you. But it wasn't like in a root, I understood it. But I never asked you again, but I always just kind of, as much as I could, kind of inform myself with how everything was going. But bro, I promise you, what you saying is what I saw a change in you. Like, it wasn't like a bad, but once everything came, and I came to that first birthday party, and we was like, it was like, look at my dog. There you go. Okay. It was coming, like I can kind of see that. So yeah, but that's all I want to say.
Nah, man,
you can
like,
show it.
Like it was, you know, before she was one, she had 2 open heart surgeries. Crack it open.
Right.
And they went and rearranged her whole heart, moved the valves from one side to the other. Like that was, she still got, when she cut from here to down there. And then we had other complications, but that was so serious we couldn't even worry about the other shit. So it's just like, you know, coming back to work, just dealing with the bullshit. And other people complaining about this, and this. Man, I'm running up and down the road. I got bills. I'm doing all this other shit. But then, like I said, I just had to start looking at it as, man, you got to be positive about something. Find something positive, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Every day when I go to work, I turn on gospel music from the time I get in the car till I get to the job. Whatever play. But I at least started putting that in my mind, like, years ago, just to bring me peace, bring a equilibrium of emotions down, you know. But I appreciate that.
You had to read something to get that equilibrium.
No, man, it's the audio version. The audio version is me hearing other people talk. I can use context clues to figure it out.
Yeah, but
this is dope, man. This is the information that, you know, we need to share and have from time to time. You feel me? It's always easy to worry about the ratchet shit or laugh about some bullshit or talk about some material shit. I want us to be recorded having these moments, knowing that it's people that give a fuck, knowing that it's people that are mature, that's going to work and going to love and going to laugh with their family and not, you know what I'm saying, be more positive as a way of life, not fronting, just happy being happy.
Right.
You feel me?
And
so
let me tell you something here real quick. Geoffrey, all the stuff you've done since I know you, I've supported you in every aspect. It didn't matter how many times you switch jobs, switch hustles, or whatever. I found a way to support you in every aspect. I don't know if you ever knew that.
Yeah, that's why I say you my dog. I mean, that's why I be like, when I say it, I really be meaning it. And like, if I'm invited, it's rarely that I'm ever invited. I get the Hollywood advice. Maybe you should come out to this.
Yeah, that
is. Hey. As we was talking about Mark episodes, that's how y'all be making me feel when y'all invite me over there. Remember that episode where Mark got invited, but he really ain't get invited? The Jodeci episode.
Oh shit. That was a good episode.
Did you miss me?
Hey, he talking about rerun. How many times I invite you to the house? all the time. How many times you actually come? Never.
Nah, but you still got your staple on because people still talk about that event that you was there, you did your thing. So leave that door open.
Hey, I mean,
yeah, man, look, you in the family legacy, cuz. You in the family legacy.
We'll tell everybody
For sure,
I appreciate it. Because that was a dope birthday party. I like all them crab legs across that table, bro. Why I had them put that playlist on autoplay? When them crab legs getting bust down without me, I had to get in there.
Hey, but my pop said the old white people that live behind us said they stayed up, they laid in the bed jamming to your mix. They told my dad that the next day.
That's what's up, then. I like that, then. Hey, I might have to come back out there. Tell I ain't gonna say his name. You know your DJ friend. Tell him I'm coming for his job. He probably watching.
Nah, look, we gonna get you on we've always had topics going on. We gonna get you on some real relaxed shit. Cause I'm gonna talk with Carolina and figure out who gonna go against who. But we gonna put you to the test in the drunk versus, cuz.
Oh, I gotta get drunk.
That's the whole point, cuz
we're gonna do like a music versus.
It's basically past the aux cord, cuz we gonna pick a genre. And out of that genre, you gonna bring your best 10. Me or him gonna bring our best 10, and we gonna see who jamming.
Okay.
You feel me?
I'm gonna put my playlist on autoplay.
I mean, no, it's whatever you.
I'm just saying my list fire.
I am not mad at that, man. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. We can do this shit all night. Woodworks by Joseph. This is one of my for real family friends. You feel me? Love this dude. I'm glad that again you came out to have the conversation that you did. I hope you had a good time. You got anything before we go?
Man, I just want to say, man, just keep loving people, man. Black people, man, keep loving each other, man. Like that's the realest thing we can do, man. If you just love each other, bro, like the rest of the stuff just fall in place. Like you ain't gonna do no harm, you ain't gonna do no wrong, and you gonna want to see the good for somebody that you really love. So like, if they look like your skin folk, shit, treat them like kin folk. I don't give a damn what they got going on. Love them, man.
That's what I'm talking about. What you got, Carolina?
Growth in every aspect, whether it be financial, physical, or mental. Just constantly grow. You ain't got to grow as fast as anybody else. Just grow. Everything else will fall in place, just like love.
Hey, man, look, this has been the Bottom of the Bottle Wednesday Hump Day Happy Hour, man. We going to see y'all next week on Wednesday, because it's Hump Day, for a happy hour. That's what y'all need to get used to. Like, share, subscribe. Share this shit with people, man. Look, let people know that we out here having real conversations and all that there. We are daddy's sons. Shots up. Drink responsibly.
All the time.
Y'all have a good night.